Hi everyone, it is Diane. Made it back yet one more time. I hope you're all doing well. I was trying to see if I could get rid of that flickering. I don't know if it flickers when you get to watch the video later after I upload it, or is it just on my laptop that I see it? I don't know. I can never figure it out. So, hope everybody's doing great. So while I was looking through some of my card images and my cards that I keep because they're my favorites to figure out what I wanted to do today, I ran across a card that was called a mirror card, and I saw this on Robin Armbrecht. I hope I said her name correctly. I saw this on her Pinterest page, and I thought I would give it a try. So I did do one as a sample because it is a fun fold that I had never done before. And I should put a little star beside my measurements because, oh, geez, sorry, smacked you in the head already. Not the best way to start, is it? I did find one little adjustment that I wanted to make to what she does. So, anyway, this is what it looks like. This is a little bit smaller than a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It is 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. So, as I have tried to share with you in the past, the cards that I do can be made with any paper or stamp set that you have. This is actually the hydrangea set that Stampin' Up! Had quite a while ago. And this was a flower that I was never really thrilled with, so I had kept it in my paper pack, but I hadn't used it. And then this is the card. Can you see how it opens and folds? So this is what we're going to create today. And then you would have room in here to create your message. Now this is my template that I'll just keep with my measurements so that if I ever want to make this card again, I will know what it's going to turn out like. Okay. So my paper, I'm just going to use some very vanilla cardstock because it matches. I just happen to have this laying out here. It says Timeless Elegance Designer Series paper, and it's pretty much all vanilla and black. Not necessarily paper that I would reach for on the first thing. I do like this. This has a taupe color in it. But anywho, yeah, that's what we're going to use. So I started with a card base. This is an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and you're only going to get one card out of this because we're cutting this to 5 1/2 by 10 1/2. So on the 11-inch side, we're going to have to take off 1/2 of an inch to make a 10 1/2 inch card base. So can I move my mouse without making my camera quit? There, I don't have a whole lot of room. And then this is 5 1/2 inches long. Now on this long side, on this one that we made 10 1/2, we want to score this at 3 1/2 and at 7. Okay. And I'm going to fold this so that it will be a little easier for you to see where we make our marks. It's pretty easy peasy once you just do it basically one time. So this will be the front of our card. This is the inside and the back. We have a mountain and a valley fold. Okay, on the mountain fold, I'm going to make a dot 2 inches from the top. And on the valley fold, I'm going to make a dot 2 inches from the bottom. I know they're very light, but when I go to erase them, I don't want them to leave a streaky mark on my card, so I just made small dots. Now from this 2-inch dot, and I have a mark on my cardstock there, it's a good thing that's getting covered up. I'm going to score from this is the front of my card. I'm going to score from the dot to this corner and the dot to this corner. Scoring, not cutting, we're going to score. So I'm going to line that corner up in the track of my trimmer. Make sure I can see my 2-inch dot. Just start on that 2-inch dot and just score to the top. And I'm going to do the same thing to the opposite fold. I'm going to put that fold mark in the track of my trimmer. Make sure I can see my 2-inch dot. What I really can't see is the fold. I'm going to go this way because I'm creasing my card. Sorry, it might be confusing because I'm upside down, but oh, and you can't see the bottom. I don't have enough room on the table. Okay. So I have, can we push it back any further? I have my fold line down here in the track. Oh, you can't see, can you? I'm going to end up bending my paper no matter what if I try to do that. Can I show you this way? A fold and my 2-inch dot. Can I see my 2-inch dot in the track? Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing. This is our front, middle, back. This 2-inch dot to this corner and to this corner. Corner. Where'd my dot go? I lost my dot. There it is. So what's new and exciting with everybody? I think around here all the schools are having their homecomings. So I've been seeing some pretty pictures from my friends of mostly their grandkids at my age. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. Oh, look at that. I didn't get that on the dot. If I press this hard, I'm going to put pattern paper over that, but I want to make sure it creases in the right place. Okay, so now we have our front, middle, back. The front has the fold marks on the top, which you cannot see. Okay, and the bottom has folded the score lines to make a V on the bottom. So now we're going to coax the paper a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm going to erase my little pencil lines right now. It still did smear a little bit. I'm even using my nice eraser. All right, let's turn that back on. So we'll coax our cardstock to score or to fold on those score lines, and then use a bone folder to make sure that they're nice and even and scored well. Okay. So our front and our middle and our back. Now this top piece we have folded to the back, so this bottom piece we want folded to the top. And I'm going to coax my, oops, this way, and coax my paper to go where I want it to go, which isn't really being too difficult. If you get a nice score line in there, it kind of really just works. And there it goes. I'm going to make sure everything lines up. Use my bone folder and score that nice. And there it is. How about that? Crazy, right? It's not even hard. I do feel like something needs scored a little bit more here. It's not, I think I used heavy vanilla cardstock, so it is being pretty thick on the creases. So let me see if I can get those burnished down a little flatter. Okay. Ta-da! Cool beans. I like it already. Okay. Then we're going to need to decorate it up a little bit here. So out of that pattern paper I have, and the easiest way for me to figure out all of my lines on my designer series paper is to have my card laid out where I can see what I'm doing. Okay. If you are better at this, then you can just cut all your pieces and then lay them on. But I like to be able to see which way my lines need to be cut. So I have 2 pieces of designer series paper cut at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be on my front and my back. And then I have another piece, and this is just another piece of vanilla, also at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And look, there's that little red spot again. I might have to cut a clean one because that one's going to show. Yep. Let me grab a clean piece. I hope. That one's not going to be long enough. That one's not going to be long enough. What you get for trying to use some scraps for those, huh? All right. 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. That's better. That's nice and clean. Okay. So now you see which way we're going to have to make our lines go. If you're using a directional paper, this one has a pattern on it, but I don't really think it's going to cause me a problem. I'm hoping. Okay, and I have my little ruler again. And I'm going to, because I need my slant line to go from the top up here to the center, I'm going to mark a 2-inch dot. Can't see it on the vanilla paper. A 2-inch dot from the top down, right here. Well, that's going to be hard to see on my pattern. And this one, I need my cut to be on the bottom. So I'm going to measure up 2 inches. Make a little mark. Oh, and this one, I need a cut on the top and on the bottom in my centerpiece. So I'm going to measure 2 inches from the top on this one and 2 inches from the bottom. This one's going to get cut twice. Okay, I don't want to lose my little red ruler. It's the only one that really fits on this table without kicking me off the table. So let's get these cut. My 2-inch dot to the top corner. That fits on there. My 2-inch dot to the bottom corner. fits on here. I'm not going to glue anything yet because this is the part that I wasn't. Maybe I'm just a little too picky. Okay, following the line on my card, this one's going to go from this 2-inch dot to the top right. And my 2-inch dot to the bottom left. Now look at that. Is that kind of like a parallelogram? Is that what that was called? Take off my little pencil mark right there. Okay. What I was not happy about, and I don't know if you can see this, if I line my pattern paper up, I should have probably picked a darker pattern so you could see easier. If I line this up so my borders are even on the top and on the side, my pattern paper sort of got narrower towards the bottom. I don't really know how to adjust the measurements for that. So what I'm going to do, and just to make sure that I do them both the same, I'm just trimming from my 2-inch dot up a little bit from the point. And you don't have to do this. Again, I think this is just because I'm a little bit pickier. So I would say that's like 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to just make that fold or that cut line a little bit shorter, and it doesn't seem quite so noticeable. Much better. I think I also had to do it on this one. Yeah, I did. So let's just take a hair off of each one of these. I know it's only like 1/8 of an inch, but it just made me, oh wait, how am I going to do that? Made me feel a little bit better. That one. Ooh, it's a horrible cut. And this one, just trim that off a little bit. Yes, I'm good with that. All right. So I also need some pretty paper to put into these triangles. So I need 2 more rectangles that are 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. And I found some little lace pieces that were in that same pack. And these are 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. I'm going to cut them diagonally. Again, if you're using a pattern, kind of keep an eye on what you're doing with your patterns. So this will go here. This will go here, and I'm going to cut my other one diagonally. And I need it to go from the top left to the bottom right. I need to cut that in the opposite direction. Oh, kind of stuck to my finger and moved there. Oh, I did it again. So now I have one for this top and one for down here. On my original card, you saw that I had a belly band wrapped around it because this is a little thicker once we get all the panels put in place. And so I cut a 1-inch strip, and this was just off of the piece of cardstock that I used for my base. So mine happens to be 1 inch by 10 1/2. And then I cut a piece of this paper that is 3/4 of an inch by 10 1/4, just taking a 1/4 inch off all around the measurement. And I'll layer that in the middle. The ends don't matter so much because when we put it around the card, we're going to cover up one of the ends anyways. And then we will make, I pulled out this old set. This is called Delicate Petals. I don't know that I've ever used it. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. That one looks like I had ink. But I wanted to use this flower because I liked it. And this is something that I haven't used. And maybe I'll make it into, do I want to thank you or a birthday? I don't know. I have time to think about that while I put my card together. So yesterday was our, I'm not going to glue my center on because I'll stamp on that and try to make it straight. I don't know how that's going to work on a weird shaped card, but we'll try. I did consider using the opposite side with the roses, but I was afraid that I wouldn't get that pattern lined up to look pretty. So I just went with the geometric design that's on here. Yep, so yesterday was first day of religious ed this year, and I have first grade again. So excited. They're so much fun. Lovely little kiddos. I feel like I'm like really far back from the camera today. Don't know why. I'm also working on getting pictures ready for name tags for our class get together. It's not really an official reunion because our 50th is coming up in 3 years, but we are trying to get a hold of classmates. And so we're going to have like a little birthday bash. We're all at that age where we can celebrate making it this far. A lot of us were able to retire, so we're just going to get together, have a nice luncheon, and reminisce a bit. But anyways, I have name tags to do. So I've been working on copying pictures into my computer so I can do the name tags for everyone. And then I had a couple of anniversary cards to make for my friend to choose from. And when I came up here this morning, because I know I got interrupted when I was doing the one card the other day, and I went downstairs, and I came up, I realized I left my gold embossing powder with the lid off. You know how bad that could have been? That'd have been like dumping glitter in a room. Oh, thankfully, I hadn't bumped the table, and Miss Ella has not really been let loose too much lately because she was getting into a lot of stuff. I don't really know what was up, but anyway, it's a good thing because I think I would have had gold embossing powder everywhere. What else is new? Not too much, really. We haven't done a whole lot. Oh, it's stuck in my finger. And it won't let go. What do you think? I like it. Okay, let's do some decorating. I may as well put this on while I have everything sitting right in front of me. And then we'll make our flower for the front. I also reached out to my ladies that come for card classes. And my son's taking hubby to Hershey for the swap meet that they always go to. I'm not going to score this yet because I just am not sure how thick this is going to turn out. So I'm going to hold on to that for a minute. So I am planning a card class on October the 5th. I think it's a Thursday. And I thought we could meet at 10 o'clock. Do a couple cards. So, if you are interested in joining, make sure you let me know. I did text my ladies that usually are here. I don't know if I should draw a little pencil line across here so I kind of keep this, because this is cut on a diagonal. I don't really trust myself. I'm going to slide this down here. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm going to use my score lines on my cutting mat just to line my paper up and make sure I'm doing this straight. Now I actually could use a longer piece. Oh, my stomach's growling. I am kind of hungry a little bit. I think I'm going to go with the birthday. There it is. I was going to say I can't see the stamp. Wishing a lovely birthday to you. I got to meet up with my cousin and my sister last week. My cousin was in from Texas for her 50th class reunion, actually. And when she comes up this way, we like to try to get together for dinner. It's not like we get to see each other often, so I did get to go have dinner with them. I'll go over all my extra stamp sets there. And then let's make that a little flower stamp. Again, this was Delicate Petals. So let's do this on a piece of just plain vanilla, and then I think we'll die cut this just out like with an oval or something. I guess I need a bigger block than that. Is it on there all the way? And then it's time to start thinking Christmas cards. I got an email from the one Christmas market that I go to. They're getting ready, so I have to start thinking what I'm going to do for that. And you know what might be pretty on this song? Before I do that, since I have my embossing powder and stuff right here, what do you think, sis? Shall we do some in black? Let's try this. Raven embossing powder by Brutus Monroe. So what you can do with your regular ink, you don't have to use Versamark or an embossing ink. You can use your ink, but you have to kind of be ready. Because, well, the Memento doesn't dry all that quickly, but like some of our other inks, they dry really quick. I'm going to do it a little bit in the middle because, like I said, I want to cut this out with a shape. Quickly put my embossing powder on here. Oh, I think I have to unplug the one light though. Which might be a blessing, right? I'm going to go to heat that up. There's a little ink stuck in that. Okay. Let's get this dumped back in the pot. I've been kind of on an embossing kick lately. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I am gearing up for Christmas cards. I like to do silver and gold embossing on Christmas cards. Pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Give this a tap. Okay. Can you handle the noise? I will get my heat gun here. Heat this up. It won't take too long. Try not to burn my hand while I'm at it. It's not very shiny. I see some, but maybe my, maybe it didn't stick to the memento. Maybe it did dry too quick. Oh no, it's on there. There it is. I was being impatient. Go figure. It's just hard to see the powder to see if it all melted. I think it looks done. I'm gonna wipe it off. Here. Just kind of makes it a little bit more intense black. Although maybe for a birthday card, we don't want it to be all black and vanilla. Or maybe we do. I don't know. Yes, we could. Might be pretty to let's see here. This is going to go here. It's going to be on the front. Oh, I didn't think about that before. Thank goodness it's going to fit. Oh, I can erase my little line. It's getting a little streaky. I don't know what's up. Oh, there's another eraser. I want to erase the ink, just my pencil mark. I can still see a shadow of it. Is that crazy? I'm afraid if I use the one on my pencil, it's going to make it smeary. The little things, you know? All right, put all these silly erasers away. Then how about, let's just take, I'm going to use my ovals. No, this had a die that matches. Oh, look at that. I know I didn't use these. Lacy Petals dies. I was just going to use an oval and cut that out. How about this? Your red. Do I want to do it? Do I? Let's see. I think I do. I think I do. Oh, I went quiet. Sorry. Stay in the lines, you know. Sort of like trying to get into a tight parking place and you turn down the radio, right? In your car. It's gonna help it all. Ooh, it's pretty. And these are just regular markers. Mine are from Stampin' Up. In case you're new to my channel, I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator for a few years. So I have a lot of their supplies, which I love. Their cardstock, I think, is the best. But I also have supplies from a lot of other places. Oh, there's a leaf there. I have to be careful. It's going to color it red. A lot of, I have Tim Holtz stuff. I have Simon Says Stamp. I think that's a leaf. That'd be kind of stupid, though, having one leaf right there, right? Oh, no, it's a petal. I see. It's just a flipped up petal. Who else? I have some Gina K. I have My Favorite Things. Lots of other products that I want to use. So a lot of my ink and stuff that I do pull out is from Stampin' Up. So I try to tell you if I'm using something different. And we'll have to get back to it. We were doing a series on A to Z. I was trying to use all the stamp sets that I have in my bookshelf here that I had acquired while I was a demonstrator. Get out of there before I get ink on you. While I was a demonstrator. And then when hubby got sick and I kind of didn't come back in my craft room for a while, I lost track of where I was at. So and this is Delightful Dijon. I don't think it's too bright for on the vanilla cardstock. It's kind of a duller yellow to go in the centers there. And I do have a couple little white spots there. I know that, and I'm good with that. Yeah, so I have to get back to that. I just have to go back in my videos and find out where I left off and what I said I was going to do next. Then I'm just going to use some painter's tape that I keep stuck here. And a hint is that you should, if you're going to tape your die to your stamped image, make sure you're taping to the outer edge of your paper and not across the part that you're going to want on your card, because when we take this die off, should the tape happen to stick, and we all know that once in a while it does, it'll rip your pretty that you just made, that you just colored or stamped. We don't want to do that. Is my video getting too long today here? Where am I at? Ooh, 40 minutes. Longer than the last week. Oh well. Oh well. Make up for lost time when I wasn't with you. All right, now we can finish it up. See, when I take off my die, if this tape, see, it did stick a little bit up there. I would have ripped my stamped image. And I do keep that, though. I use those little pieces of scrap paper. Okay, we need to put this on here. This might be a fun card, like at Halloween if somebody's got a birthday. Now I can take my belly band that I made, and I'm loosely going to wrap it around. Loosely, because it has to slip over the card. And I'll be able to trim some of this off. I don't need it that long. And then we just want to make sure that we put this piece that I trim off. I think I need to change my cutting blade there. I'm going to put that on the inside. I do need to change my blade on that. That's messy. There we go. So that I can, I'm not going to see it anyway, so what am I thinking about? I'm going to put my flower on there. Okay. Well, I was going to say we need to wrap it around the card a little bit and make sure that I have it lined up nice. Okay. Just add a little glue. Close that up. If you feel more comfortable measuring, you could measure your 3.5 and your 7-inch score lines and score that before you fold. But then I'm always afraid it's just not going to fit around the card if our card is a little bit thick. We'll just add a little glue on this. Making sure not to put it on the tops and the bottoms of the petals because that's sort of overhanging my belly band there. Okay. Oh, my little points going back down my glue bottle again. Darn it, that happened once before too. These fine tip glue bottles are wonderful until they start acting up. Then they're not. What do you think? Take our belly band off. And happy birthday. You could add a piece of, well, you'd have to be kind of careful. I was going to say you could add a piece of vanilla over here too if you wanted to write a personal message, but you don't want it to show, so you have to be real careful. Oh, this is still just a tad off right there. Yay! All right, you guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the mirror fold. Give it a try. And I will see you back here again next week. Hopefully. God willing and the creek don't rise, right? Have a great week, y'all. Bye.